Hello and welcome back to another episode of I Hate Golf. It's awesome. My name is Caleb. He's Mark. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the 2022 PGA Show in Orlando, Florida. I was down there on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Went to the show on Tuesday? No, Wednesday. Wednesday was the first day. Tuesday was the demo day out at Orange County National. I didn't go to that, but I did go to the show on Wednesday. And, you know, you weren't able to go this year. You sent me down there to talk to some people, but you were able to watch some of the coverage on the Golf Channel. What did you think just staying here at Old English Trail and watching it on TV?
Well, yes, I stayed and worked while you went to Orlando. It was not in a negative way, but it was very unimpressive, you know, going back to when the show was really a show. It's, you know, with the whole, was closed for 2 years, they didn't do it?
I think just last year
they didn't do it.
I'm pretty sure.
And then kind of obviously it wasn't, you know, ramped totally up and, you know, a lot of folks not showing up. It looked kind of flat. Even coming across on television. Yeah,
it definitely wasn't a high energy event. You know, I think a lot of the people were more concerned about their tee times. It was pretty cold and wet in Orlando this week. But yeah, it's just, you know, I don't remember how many times, and you've been plenty more than I have, but it definitely was a smaller show, both in, you know, who was there exhibitor wise and also who was there attendance wise. I think Bridgestone was the only golf ball company there. There was none of the major club companies. The cart companies were there and stuff like that, but definitely just kind of a weird feeling to it. I mean, they had, you know, not really a lot of strict COVID restrictions they were trying to follow, but you had to wear a mask and stuff like that, which most people didn't do. They actually had people walking around with signs that worked at the convention center that said, "Please wear your mask."
How'd that work out?
Either no one in the PGA can read or just no one cared. You know, we probably shouldn't be saying that because we'll probably get taken down on YouTube for saying that. But yeah, it was just kind of a weird vibe. I don't know.
Well, actually the show had started scaling back a few years back. Mm-hmm. Some of the companies had decided, let's not invest our marketing money that way. It's not really working that much. It's not that important. Yeah. And I think they tried to focus on their regional reps and what they could do. Mm-hmm. So that had already started, you know, from the heyday when, you know, Nike came on the golf scene and blew everything up, and they had the two-story music and performers and celebrities, and, you know, that lasted a few years, and then it kind of started to go away.
Yeah, there was definitely, you know, some of the, you know, Echo, Skechers, they had the decently sized, you know, exhibits and stuff like that, but for the most part, it was just booths. I mean, a couple of companies that I was excited to talk to, Lyle and Scott, True Links Wear, who we carry their shoes here. It's like they had good setups and stuff, but it was definitely on a smaller scale, and it was still nice to get to, you know, talk to people that I've, you know, either emailed with or people that I've never met before, or stuff like that. So it was a good experience, but yeah, just, you know, drawing back on the times that we've gone before, it was definitely a lot different than any year that I had been before.
Right. It'll be interesting to see what happens to it. Mm-hmm. You know, there are regional shows, you know, Carolinas, I think it's in Greenville in March.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So there are a lot of regional shows like that, and people are, I think, traveling less. Yeah, it seems like.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a lot of reasons for it, but, you know, in general, I think it was winding down a little bit anyways.
Yeah, and that's kind of just, you know, having the Golf Channel on in the shop today, just a little bit I've heard, that's, you know, kind of what they've been, not trying to kind of twist the narrative of, but just kind of talking about, like, what's the future of the PGA Show look like, because, you know, any kind of convention now is going to be a lot different than it was 5, 10, even 2 years ago, because of restrictions that might still be in place in years going forward, and just people's ability to do the things that they were only able to do once a year at the show. They can do that anytime now, whether it's a Zoom call or some kind of virtual demo of stuff like that. It's just a lot different. And it will be interesting to kind of see, you know, do conventions like that still have a space in people's, you know, years?
Well, again, it's like a lot of the golf people in the industry, I mean, use that as a golf vacation excuse
Yeah,
anyways. It's
yeah.
like, I've got to go to the show. So you go to the show in the morning, make your appointments, and then you play golf for 4 days.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot what it was anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was kind of, I don't know, odd or fascinating or hilarious that they're interviewing, booths at the golf show on the Golf Channel that would have never been touched before because it's like, hey, we have to talk to someone and we have to make this interesting where, you're talking to a little mom and pop tent instead of Nike or TaylorMade or someone at Callaway. So it was like, that was I thought that was funny as they were trying to be creative, but to me, it didn't really come off that way. It came off as like a reflection of, that's kind of what it is right now.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was walking around in the morning when I first got there, and I got there pretty close to when it opened, I saw a lot of, like you're saying, the smaller booths that had big camera setups all around. And I'm just thinking, man, these people must have a huge creative budget if they got a red camera and lights and mics everywhere, and then coming back and seeing, oh no, it was the Golf Channel. Right. It's like, why are they talking to them? And it's like, it is, if you're going to spend the money and the time to go there, it's cool that these smaller companies are getting some exposure on the Golf Channel, but then it kind of goes back to, well, how many people are watching the Golf Channel? It's just kind of an endless cycle of who's doing what anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
pretty much.
I mean, I thought it was a good trip. Definitely helped that, I had to go down there to help out with the courses in Melbourne and stuff like that. So it wasn't totally just for the PGA Show.
And while I stay here and work. So
yeah, you stayed here and work. I'm pretty sure it's been a little slow this week. It's pretty cold in South Carolina right now.
And my point is, yes, I was here.
Well, someone had to be here to do it. So what's been going on at the golf course this week? What's all the fun stuff that I've missed?
Cold and more cold.
Yeah.
We still have our, our committed golfers that show up.
Yep.
It can be 28 in the morning degrees and someone will walk in the door at 9 and it's like, we still have frost out there. We can't go out and do it yet. Yeah. Really? And so, it's fascinating. But no, we've, as you know, we've been doing a lot of clubhouse work, repairs and upgrades, the bathrooms. We finished our grill room. So it's given us an opportunity to really dig into that and commit time to it. So that's been good. It's always nice to have golfers here and the cash register ringing, but when you can't, it's great that you can still accomplish some things. Another thing that's happened is had a chance to talk to a couple of the schools this week who are bringing their boys teams back and will act as their home golf course.
Awesome.
As you know, I've been involved in junior golf for
forever,
a long time. Yeah. So that's good to see. That was disappointing when they weren't here. We were excited that Hannah Pamplico stayed with us last year, and we supported them in every way we could. So, it's good to have a couple of the other schools come back because I like the activity. Yeah. To me, it creates a great atmosphere. And it gives it a buzz to the property with activity and, young golfers out here. Yeah. And as you know, we have rules. It's like, if you're playing golf here, here's what's expected of you. For the juniors and the teams, and that it always works out well. Yep. Coaches are, they understand the situation where we're trying to help them out, so they try to do the same for us. So we're excited moving into the spring about doing that. Yeah,
it's especially with it still being colder with the golf teams coming out here. It not only helps the golf course look alive, but it makes it feel alive because there's people out here that are doing something. It's not that there's nothing wrong with the regulars, but it's some new faces that people haven't seen around the golf course, at least haven't seen here in a while, and it's exciting.
And even for the staff, it's like you have 6 golfers because it's 45 degrees, and you get the high school kids coming out and they don't care. Yep. They're out there in short sleeves on the range hitting balls. Exactly. So, that makes it more fun, even for us, the staff.
Absolutely. So one thing you did mention that a lot of people here have been asking about, and this part of the podcast is kind of pretty specific to people here in Florence and around here, but hopefully it'll interest some people to come here and check us out that haven't been here before. You mentioned that the dining room is finished. What are the plans for the dining room?
You mean the grill room?
The grill room, dining room, whatever you want to call it. People have been saying so many things that I even get it mixed up.
And anyone that walks in, they see it and they go, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is kind of that thing. The new walls, we took out the old bar and the back bar and just completely changed the dynamics of the room.
The putting
new
green.
Flooring, all of that stuff that's like, what's that? Since we don't know, let's just get rid of it. And that worked out well. So no, we're excited about it. We don't have the kitchen open yet to capacity. Mm-hmm. We're going to have to go through that process as well. But as of right now, we will probably start scheduling, we can do birthday parties, get-togethers. The room of capacity is probably 20 to 30. Mm-hmm. Our long-term goal is, yes, get the kitchen open. So that's a great place. You can have a round of golf, come in, have a nice sandwich and something cold to drink. And, long-term also is that's where we want to put a deck outside of that end of the building because it only makes sense. And that would expand it to where, we could accommodate as many as 75, 80 people. Yeah. So those are our future plans. You have to start somewhere. Yeah. So we started and we just completely remodeled that room. We've got a couple of TVs up in there now. We'll add a couple of more. We've got some of my old golf picture collection hanging in there now, mm-hmm. Which I enjoy looking at every day. So we've really, just that room alone has changed the dynamics of the clubhouse, and that's what we're trying to create. Yeah, that room does kind of used to feel like a little bit of a dungeon or a dive bar or whatever you want to call it. There's actual light coming in the room now. Right.
It's a little less creepy. But no, it'll be nice to kind of see, what different kind of things. I never thought of it as
creepy, but kind of like dark and
Yeah, especially at night if you just don't look that way. Just in general, just don't look that way. But no, it'll be nice to have, some extra space that we can do different activities and stuff like that. And like you were saying, eventually wanting to put a deck out there. It'll be nice to have a functional deck that's not just a staircase on top of a staircase. Right. Because if you've ever looked at the back staircase, the original stairs are still there. They just built right over it for whatever reason. But no, it's exciting. I mean, I think it's, there's still a lot more we can do in the clubhouse, but it's not what it was. And as you know, I am truly thrilled. We're almost done with the remodeling of the bathrooms. Oh, yeah.
It's like, you can remember from the first visit, I was like horrified.
Yeah.
It was worse to me than a 1965 roadside rest outhouse in Ohio. And I know because I remember them when I was a kid. It was bad. And we're just, we're thrilled with replacing everything, mm-hmm. new paint, cleaning everything up. Mm-hmm. And, as I repeat many times, I've looked at all of the research and the responses and the census taking of golfers and what they like and what they don't like. Bathrooms, clean golf carts are always the top categories. Yep. And some places fail at both. Yeah. So the nice thing about that is when you turn that around, it's very noticeable. Yeah. And guess what? People are noticing. Yeah. So that's exciting. Yeah. It's not we're doing it and like nobody says anything. Yeah. Well, we did do some painting in the clubhouse, the big room. It's like, and even to me, the fascinating thing, we tore down that, what was it? Probably a 20-foot long scoring center out there that was crumbling. It was falling apart. Yeah. The roof was caving in. We tore it out, and I think one person noticed that it was gone. That fascinated me.
It was mostly held up by hornet's nest, actually.
I was thrilled that was gone because then you could see the golf course from the clubhouse. And
it was
one person actually said something. It's like, oh, where did that go?
It's just a big pile of sand at the moment. Yeah, no, it's obviously getting the bathrooms cleaned up, getting them actually fixed, and not just keeping them clean. But you walk into a golf course, you expect a clean bathroom. At least I expect a clean bathroom. I don't expect. I travel a lot, so I play kind of like Russian roulette with gas station bathrooms, and there's nothing worse than going up to a nice looking gas station after driving an extra half mile just to go to that one, and you get there and the bathroom's just as bad as the worst one that you passed. So somewhere, golf isn't cheap, everyone knows that. You expect at least a clean bathroom. Right. And the fact that we've had the ability to actually upgrade some things is just kind of a no-brainer to me.
Well, and to me especially for the women's bathroom.
Yeah.
To me, that's appalling.
Yeah.
It's totally disrespectful.
Yeah.
And everyone wonders why, wow, women don't play golf here. Well, I can give you a priority reason why they. In fact, it was sometime in the middle of the summer, a couple of people said to me, it's like, wow, Mark, we're noticing more women playing golf out here. We've changed the atmosphere. We actually cleaned the bathroom.
Yeah.
And we got those comments too, like, wow, it's clean in here.
Yep.
Now we're almost finished remodeling it, so it's going to be even nicer. And to me, that's just common courtesy of taking care of the people that visit and support your property.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of goes into the pride of ownership that we kind of try to have a little bit. It's just
exactly
if you're going to be proud of somewhere, you at least have to keep the bathrooms clean. I mean, that's number one.
And there's still a lot of things here we're not proud of yet.
Yeah.
But there's a big list. So
we're
going down that list.
It's only been a year, I guess not even a year, but we've still got a lot of work to do, but it's exciting. Anything else course specific you wanted to talk about?
No, we're just looking at now. In fact, I was talking to a friend today. Going to try to get him up here from the Pinehurst area. Now that we've kind of done our fairway trap thing and shaped those and mounded them and gotten rid of most of them, we still have to decide what we're going to do with hole number 14 and the 3 bunkers out there. Right now I'm leaning toward getting rid of 2 of them and leaving 1 on the corner. Mm-hmm. But really, now that we're past that, and again, a lot of this now is based on can we get on the golf course, how wet it is with our equipment.
Yeah.
But we'll start digging into a couple of the smaller traps to see what we can do and, how much work it's going to be and how quickly we can get them done. And then we'll probably make a list of, 4 traps at a time and go after those and just, do them as we can.
Yeah.
Because you just can't shut down and say, okay, we're going to do the sand traps.
Yeah.
It'll be a process, and hopefully people appreciate that as we go through the process.
Yeah.
And improve it hole by hole.
Yeah. Yeah, another, big part of doing that while we're open is, having to let people play through. Chris is going to be out there dodging golf balls. It's amazing how many golf balls that thing attracts. It's really kind of fascinating.
Yeah, it's like the backhoe has dings all over it from golf balls.
It's almost like it's intentional. I'm not saying it is, but it's almost like it's intentional.
It was funny. Chris, who runs the backhoe and has done most of the work on the traps, was telling me one day how he was watching and there was one coming and he had to reach up and grab it so it wouldn't hit him. So that's a timing thing, and that's why this time of year we hope to be able to get out there so we can do more.
Yeah. Because
it's just like everything else on the golf course. If you have to do it in your busy season, it's very costly just because the amount of time it takes to do it.
Yep.
So, that's where we're at the sand traps. We're kind of waiting to come out of the spring and see where the greens are at, hoping we don't get a lot of winter kill from the nasty weather we've had. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot we could do. We treated them going into the end of the year to kind of protect us against that. But we have to kind of wait and see, and then we'll know where we're at and what we need to start tackling on the greens to improve them even more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of one of the most exciting things to me is we weren't able to get here until the end of February, beginning of March last year, and now kind of having the ability to do some work to the course and in that ramp up period going into the growing season. I think that that'll be a big opportunity for us to really improve the course conditions.
Well, and I can tell you the issues now in dealing with a golf course are so much different than just 3 or 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. Today I was talking about, getting some sod in for the sand traps that we've removed. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, here's what the cost was per pallet for, the 419 that we'd use. And it's like, first, is if you can get it.
Yeah.
And 2, is it still that same cost?
Yeah.
I talked to one of our guys down South Florida at the other golf courses, and he has 18 pallets ordered for his 2 courses, and he's not sure he can get it.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure that's a regional thing too. So hopefully we won't have that issue quite. But we're dealing the same thing with the golf carts too. So It's just there's a lot of different factors in running the property than just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's an even more so of a juggling act.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, just from everything from sod to golf carts to even golf balls. It's like we ordered some more golf balls from Bridgestone. They're coming out with their new line back in October, November. And just at that point, it was nothing before April. It's just there's no chance they could get anything.
And don't try to get a golf bag from anyone.
Oh, no, don't. Yeah. Yeah, if you see something in stock, go ahead and get it because
it'd probably be cheaper to hire one of the high school kids to carry your clubs for you right now without a bag.
Yeah. It's a struggle to get, everything or anything in right now. But, things seem like they might be leveling out, but that can change at any moment.
Well, it's like even you go to the big golf stores.
Yeah.
The national stores, you'll see merchandise, and then you'll see bare spots in certain areas.
Yeah.
And, everyone's dealing with the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, the smaller you are, the more difficult it is.
Yeah.
And, we're kind of just this small little golf course here with a small staff and trying to build our inventory and our merchandise and all the things we do here. So, we kind of started from scratch. So it's been even a little tougher for us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really saw it when I was in Orlando going to the Nike factory store, not the Nike outlet, but the factory store below that where they get all the rejects and the samples and stuff like that. I mean, that place is always just packed. You can find anything you want. They didn't have a single pair of size 13 shoes. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen at that store. I mean, it was, it's everywhere and it's everything right now. So it's just dealing with that and adjusting as we have to.
But in spite of that, I'm very pleased with where we're at. Mm-hmm. Looking back to where we've come from. So you do what you have to do to make it work.
Yep. Well, what else do you want to talk about today? Anything? I should say that this will be hopefully the last episode that we do without an audience. It's a little cold out there today. Weren't really expecting anyone to come out. We're going to try to do this every Friday at 6 p.m. at Old English Trail Golf Club in Florence, South Carolina. Go ahead and we'll check the Facebook page, the website. I'll put all the links there in the description and stuff like that. 6 o'clock. I'm going to try to start right on the dot, get some people out here, maybe try to do some questions, see how that goes.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But no, I mean, we're never going to be the podcast that talks about what exactly is happening in the tour this week. Let's go over all that stuff. That's not really what interests me. I mean, obviously we can talk about it and stuff because, when something big happens, it's fun to talk about it. And it might be more fun, with an audience of people that are really interested to that. But, for me, and I think for you, it's like we're more interested in the golf industry stuff and, what goes into dealing with a golf course and property and stuff like that. Am I totally wrong on that? Do you really want to talk about
with
the tour?
One exception, and that's my idea that I still hang on to, that professional golf should be team golf.
Yep. Yep.
And someday we'll cover that again. And someday, guess what? Someone's going to do it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They're going to run out of other ideas at some point. I mean, people are going to get less interested in the color book Koepka's hair eventually. So they're going to have to find something else to do.
Yeah. It's, to me, it's like the tour's the tour. I don't follow the tour anymore. Once in a while I'll read something or watch something, but I don't really, to me it's golf, but it's not golf.
Yeah.
That's just like guys that play softball, trying to compare that to being connected to Major League Baseball players. It's like, it's two different worlds.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in, what's the golf equipment that's going to help my 9 handicap or my 15 handicap get a little better?
Yeah.
Or what golf ball he should be playing, trying to get Bridgestone in here to do a ball fitting, stuff like that for our golfers.
Yeah.
The junior golf program, doing the stuff that actually impacts your community. To me, that's what has value with golf.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, I think we're going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Any final thoughts you wanted to add?
I don't have a final thought. I'm all thought out.
All right. So again, next Friday, I don't know the exact date of that because my Apple Watch is dead, but 6:00 Friday, Old English Trail Golf Club, Florence, South Carolina. All the website info will be in the description. But yeah, thanks for listening to another episode of I Hate Golf. It's awesome. I'm Caleb. He's Mark, and we'll see you next time.